do is show up at the Capitol, come in. We're not going as protesters, by the way. We do not go as protesters. We're going there to support our legislators, and we're going there to support the freedom of Tennessee.
We are absolutely not going to be protesters.
No, and right now it looks like we got everything up and running, and want to introduce, we have a special guest that's called in. He's kind of our eye in the sky, we could almost say, Mr. Jim Barth. And Jim Barth, for everybody that doesn't know him, you need to get to know this man. This is a man's man. This is the state director with Restored Liberty and state director of the Tennessee. And gotten to know Jim a lot here lately, and what a great guy. And Jim, bringing you in, what have you seen today? You were actually there at the Capitol today representing everybody in Tennessee and their rights. What did you see today, buddy?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. But what I seen was the start of what we'll call the madness. You've had, for instance, the Capitol was packed with people that were there that were well organized from the left. You had all the fringe movements, and as we were waiting to get in to try to go into the Capitol in that hallway on the west side, the left was chanting things like "You are cowards," all in unison, and clap, clap, clap. And then they would do this over and over again to try to disrupt, if you will, proceedings that were trying to be started on the floor. So I wasn't going to let that opportunity go to waste, because while I was there, I started meeting up with a large amount of patriots. I'd say all of them within a hallway, 90% of them were constitutionalists and Tennesseans looking to retain our rights. So I started giving them a class on the Constitution right there in the hallway. Of course, we had a couple stray stares from the people that were students that demand action, and moms that are for gun rights, against gun rights, and then you had a pretty good showing of Black Lives Matter that was in there, but they gave me a pretty good evil eye, but that basically called out, who can stand against me when God's for me?
Amen on that one, buddy.
Amen,
and
Jim. Amen.
You actually was accosted by a protester today. Why don't you tell that story? Because I find that story just absolutely hilarious, because there's some people that I feel like they're scared to go, and they don't understand that he that is in us is greater than he that is in the world. Explain and tell us that funny story about the protester that went after you today.
Yeah, it does turn out to be a funny story, because when I arrived, I got there early because I didn't know what to expect. But me being a people person, I love to go out and start talking to people. So I walked across the street from Cordell Hall, and you had people there that were moms for action against guns, and then on the way in, I was talking to them, seeing what they were there for. None of them were from Tennessee, by the way. But then I seen a small fringe group. It was called the Proud Boys. They were there, and I heard this report on the news on the way in that these guys were being nasty to the public and flipping people off. So I walked up and I said, "Gentlemen, are you the group that's the only group here?" They're like, "Yeah." I said, "News reports state that you're flipping people off." And they're like, "No, that's not us. Not at all. It's never been us." So as I'm talking to them, there's a guy maybe 30 feet away from me yelling at us to get off the highway and the sidewalk and screaming obscenities at us. And I'm like, I got this. So these guys kind of backed off, and he called me a racist and, all kinds of expletives that, a sailor, it would have made a sailor look pale. But I finally asked him, I said, "Are you from Tennessee?" He says, "No." I said, "So what is the problem?" He says, "You just need to get off the sidewalk. You're blocking the sidewalk with the law." Well, you know me. I'm going to ask him what law. Of course, he couldn't provide it. But he kept getting more and more agitated, standing up, getting in my face, just vile obscenities. And here I am talking calmly to him. And
So was he
reporters start coming over, taking pictures of the guy talking calmly to the guy screaming at his face.
So was he getting in your face, Jim, or was he getting in your chest? Because, for everybody that doesn't know you, you're a pretty big dude. I mean, you're 6'4", 6'5", got to be pushing 275, 280, and is not soft 275 or 280. And the picture I seen, you look like the normal male protesters, you know, he's a little bitty skinny dude.
He is. So when I say in my face, he's getting within my 3 feet of space.
Right.
So he's just, you know, enough to where he could get spit on me and big. And so basically, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. And he's screaming at me with this howl that was almost demonic. You ain't going to do nothing. And then, excuse me. And then I said, but I am. I'm going to pray for you.
That's
and
right.
All of a sudden, he had this funny look on his face, and he sat down. No more expletives, no more cursing. And I started to walk away. Didn't hear another word from him. I thought, man, I got to snap a picture of this guy. I turned around while I was maybe, 40 feet away and snapped his picture. And still looking at me with this quandary look on his face, head sort of tilted, not saying a word. That's the power of Christ right there.
That's the power of Christ. And again, everybody that's listening to this, don't be scared. They want you to be scared to go up there. These people have no business in our capital right now. This is Tennessee business. And I thought it was very funny, and you didn't say